The sun hadn't fully risen, but the air in Ajegunle was already thick with heat and the scent of fried oil. Nora's slipper slapped against the dusty concrete as she swept the front of Mama Kudi's canteen, a narrow wooden store held together by nails, prayers, and years of grease. She was 22 and felt older. Her life had never moved past survival mode. One eye on her dreams, the other on the next meal. "Girl, you dey sweep or you dey dance?" Mama Kudi barked from inside the kitchen. Her voice carried authority, even when it wasn't angry. "Sorry, Ma," Nora muttered, increasing her pace. Behind her, early customers were already forming a loose line: bus drivers, bricklayers, paper sellers. Men who would buy 150 naira beans and ask for extras too for free. She hated the stares they gave her. Not cruel, just empty. Like she was part of the background. Then, as she stooped to clear a clump of soggy bread, she saw it. A wallet. Thick. Brown. Leather. And not the type sold at traffic stops or hanging from plastic hooks in Balogun market. This one was real. Heavy. Expensive looking. Completely out of place in their corner of Lagos. She froze. Nobody else seemed to have noticed it. She glanced around. The man buying puff-puff didn't see. The boy selling newspapers was too busy counting change. Her heart began to pound. She picked it up, her hand trembling. It was warm from the sun, soft to the touch. She looked inside. Clean, crisp dollar bills. Not naira. Dollars. At least 1,000. Maybe more. Gold-plated cards. A black, minimalist business card tucked between them. A Isa CEO, Isa Cop. That name echoed in her head like a bell. Even someone like her, with no access to cable TV or the business world, had heard whispers of Damian Isa. He was the billionaire nobody saw. The one whose companies built banks, malls, even roads. Young. Rich. Ruthless. And here was his wallet. In her hand. In Mushin. Nora sat behind the canteen now, out of sight. Her knees drawn to her chest. The wallet sat on her lap like a trap. Her rent was 3 months overdue. Zeno, her 14-year-old brother, was coughing again last night. The cheap inhaler they used was almost empty. There was no food in the house. No job after this one. No future she could see. She looked at the cash again. Nobody would know. Nobody had seen her. It wasn't like rich people cared. What was $1,000 to someone like Isa? Her eyes burned with tears. But even as she imagined using the money to pay for medicine, even as her stomach growled from skipping dinner the night before, she couldn't do it. Her father, God rest him, used to say, poverty should not kill your name. And this? This wasn't her name. She stood, wiped her face, and slipped the wallet back into its place. Then she cleaned her hands with sachet water, borrowed a mirror and a small bottle of perfume from Esther, the girl who sold second-hand wigs, and powdered her face with a piece of old chalk. "Where you dey go like that?" Mama Kudi asked when she saw her coming out in clean jeans and her best slippers. "To return something," Nora answered. Mama Kudi eyed her suspiciously but didn't press. Nora boarded a downfall to CMS, then took another to Victoria Island. The moment she reached the glass gates of Isakop, she regretted coming. The building was a giant. Reflective. Clean. It felt like it could breathe and judge you all at once. The security guards at the entrance were dressed better than anyone in her compound. She stepped forward. "Excuse me," she said, clutching the wallet to her chest. One guard looked her up and down like a stain. "You lost." "No. I found this. I think it belongs to Mr. Isa." "Which Isa?" "You know how many Isas dey this Lagos?" She showed the business card. Damian. Isa. CEO. They laughed. You want to see him personally, one sneered. You think say no Nollywood. I just want to return it. Leave him. Drop him and go. I can't. I need someone to tell him. Please. I came all the way from. Another man in a sharp black suit walked out of the building. Serious face. Walkie-talkie on his hip. What's happening here? He asked. She says she won return wallet. Talk say it belonged to Damian Isa. The man squinted at her. Let me see. She handed it over slowly, half expecting him to snatch it. He opened it, nodded, and without looking at her, said, "Follow me." She was led to a front desk. He took the wallet. Wrote her name down. Gave her a thank you note so mechanical it felt like a reflex. Nobody offered her water. Nobody said more than 2 words. In less than 5 minutes, it was over. Outside, she stood by the road for a long time. The buses zoomed past. She felt stupid. Poor. Small. But her heart was clean. That night, she laid on her thin mattress beside Zeno. His breathing had steadied, but her own heart felt heavy. She hadn't eaten all day. She had spent her last 700 naira on transport. Mama Kudi was angry she missed the afternoon shift. Her life hadn't changed. And yet, she knew she'd do it again. Because sleeping with a guilty heart was worse than sleeping hungry. She buried her face into her pillow and cried quietly. She thought that was the end of the story. But it wasn't. Because 2 days later, a black Range Rover parked outside Mama Kudi's canteen. And everything changed.